Everyone needs a beautiful, flowy chiffon skirt for spring and summer. I recently found this beautiful blush, dusky pink piece of chiffon in a thrift store, and I immediately knew I could make something with it. Hi, my name is Maggie and welcome to another Around the Year video. Today we're going to turn this beautiful pink piece of chiffon into a gorgeous, flowy summer skirt. I got really lucky with this fabric because it's already hemmed all the way around, which will save me a lot of heartache, since chiffon is very slippery and very tricky to hem. You will need about 2 or maybe 3 meters of chiffon fabric. First, we'll need to cut it into the right length for our skirt. I want mine to hit just below the knee, so I went with 70 centimeters or 27 inches. So in my case, I will want to have a rectangle that is around 70 centimeters by 2 meters or 27 inches by 2 yards. From the axis, I will cut my waistband later. So once you've got your rectangle, it's time to either pleat or gather the waist. I opted for uneven box pleats, inspired by this skirt I saw online, and I pinned a small and a big box pleat in turn until the waist was the right size for me. Because chiffon is a very slippery fabric, as I've said, it would have been very tricky to sew that into place straight away. Let's hand baste all of our pleats safely before running them through the machine. When sewing with a delicate fabric like this, you'll want to make sure your stitch length is quite small, so the fabric doesn't pucker when you sew. Once of our Once our pleats are safely sewn in place, we're going to sew up the side seam, although you might want to hem your skirt first. As I mentioned, my fabric was pre-hemmed, so I got out of hemming this time. Cut a strip of fabric twice as wide as you want the waistband to be, about 3 inches or 7 centimeters longer than your waist measurement. Also, don't forget to add seam allowance. Fold in half along the long edge, right sides facing, and then sew the short ends closed with an 0.5 centimeter seam allowance, which is about 3/8 of an inch. Turn right sides out and press. Then pin one edge of the waistband to the skirt like this. So, and flip over to the inside of the skirt, turning up the seam allowance of the waistband to the inside. This way all the raw edges are now concealed by the waistband, and you can now either hand sew the waistband in place using felling stitches, like I am doing here, or you can machine sew using a technique called stitching in the ditch, where you work from the right side of the skirt, stitching exactly into the seam line. Lastly, I added some hooks and eyes to the closure, which I sadly didn't film. And voila! Here is the finished skirt, and I am really happy with the results. Chiffon skirts are such a big staple piece for spring and summer. They look really gorgeous, they're flowy, they're airy. So if you don't have a chiffon skirt already, I highly recommend that you make one for this year. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.